it's not our core business to give tax advice and to redesign the international tax treaties that form this little web around the global economic activity. But it's a matter that we are helping the OECD with, and we will bring all the knowledge we have, particularly of the not so advanced economies that are often the victims of those very smart tax planning schemes that help companies not to violate the law, not to be in breach, but to be smart about how they design their legal and fiscal structure in order to limit, or as they say, optimize their taxation. So
in fact, they're shifting their profits to tax havens where often they pay no tax at all.
Yeah, or very little tax.
Is that immoral?
But you know what they will say to that? They will say we are, they will say that they're not especially concerned about your question. They're concerned about being within the law and not breaching the law. So what it says
to change the law, is it?
Governments,
I guess that's the question.
Governments have to look at how they should change the law and how they should do it cooperatively. And that's, another reason why those countries have to do it together. They have to talk to each other. They have to compare notes. Because if they don't, they're going to compete against each other. And that's the race to the bottom, which is not going to be in the interest of the countries because they will lose revenues, which will not be in the interest of the normal taxpayers because they will be required to fill in the gap that is left by those that can manage to play those games. But, Tina, in response to your question, because you named a couple of companies, it is a fact that the business is evolving. And whereas it's pretty easy to, tax a base that is tangible, that is identifiable, where you have manufacturing activity, where you have products, and so on and so forth, it's a lot more complicated to do that when the products are intangible, when they move around by flow of information, where the localization of the headquarters or the service center is uncertain. So the governments and the international tax treaty designers and drafters have to take that into account, and they have to invent new concepts just as quickly and as well as those companies are inventing their optimization schemes.
Just out of interest, has any economist actually looked at how many billions of dollars being lost to the national revenue of countries where people are spending their money, for Apple and Google and companies like that? How much is being lost?
Well, there are conflicting numbers, but all of them are big.